last 3 matchups. Flo Thamba to jump for Baylor. Jimmy Bell Jr. for West Virginia. And the Mountaineers control the tap. Stevenson, quick trigger off the mark. Offensive rebound comes to Emmett Matthews. Kedrian Johnson is back in the starting lineup. Out of bounds to the Bears. Baylor will have their first offensive possession.
First thing you saw right there, crashing the glass hard. Pay attention to the glass.
Baylor starting 5, usual cast of characters with Flagler, Cryer, George, Bridges, and Thamba. The screen and roll. Thamba blocked at the rim by Jimmy Bell Jr. Here comes West Virginia. Kedrian Johnson back in the starting lineup. Was out on Saturday against KU due to a concussion. He's got the ball out high. Circles into the lane, misses short, and it's one and done for West Virginia. Baylor will have it.
For Baylor, I think the X factor tonight is L.J. Cryer. I think L.J. Cryer is a guy who's had a lot of games where he's up or down. He has to be up. He has to be a third scoring option in order for Baylor to get back to that level of success.
Had a monster month of November, including a 28-point game against number 8 UCLA on November 20th. That was a career high for Cryer. Cryer has it in the corner for the Bears. Flagler against Stevenson. This will be a matchup to watch all night long. Thamba, 15-footer, barely clips the rim. Fighting for his own miss. And it goes back to West Virginia. West Virginia coach Bob Huggins, enshrined to the Hall of Fame back in September, has the 3rd most Division I wins of all time with 926 career dubs. Nobody has scored in the first minute plus. It's a grinder.
This will be a good game tonight. Both teams have to get this win. I mean, starting 0-4 in conference play is extremely difficult in a league where you have no off nights. So this is a must-win for both teams.
And these teams were a combined 20-4 in the non-conference. Kedrian Johnson whips it in the corner. Matthews draws a crowd. Knocked away and a foul. A reach-in called on Baylor. Scott Drew, the head coach of the Bears, 407 career wins, 2021 national championship. Baylor is 45-7 against unranked teams in the last 3 seasons.
Go down low. Trey Mitchell has a mismatch right now with Keontae George. I'd exploit that.
At the foul line, Bell sends it left to Stevenson. There's Mitchell with the rock. Takes George into the lane, throws up the half hook. And it's boarded by Ojonwuna, the freshman from Nigeria for Baylor. They want to push tempo. Bridges sails in, count the basket, and one.
Such a tough floater right here. In transition, takes the bump. He's fading away. I know this West Virginia crowd, this student section behind us, is going to let him hear it every single time he touches the ball. But that right there is a great start for a guy who has had his struggles this season.
It's a homecoming game for Jalen Bridges. Played his first 2 seasons here in Morgantown at West Virginia. Grew up less than 30 miles from the West Virginia campus. Missed the free throw. Baylor has our game's first points. Over 2 minutes gone by, West Virginia hasn't scored.
And West Virginia will have the size advantage down low. They love running the flex cut with the triangle action to get guys posted up. They will have the size advantage to post up the guards of Baylor.
Mountaineers with their first turnover. Baylor threading it down the middle. Ojonwuna can't handle it. Out of bounds, and Baylor, their first blunder of the night.
Yeah, that's one of those plays you just have to know your personnel. Keontae George, that's a great pass for a guy who can handle it. Josh Ojonwuna has made a tremendous strides, but he's not there yet. He cannot catch that in transition and go up and finish.
Teams have started a combined 1 for 7 from the field. How key will the glass be tonight on both sides?
It's huge because when you look at it, Baylor plays 3 guards, and right there off the flex cut. West Virginia loves the flex cut. They love to be able to take advantage of the size. It will be huge. Baylor has to block out because West Virginia is going to crash the glass hard. Trust me, James, I know.
An easy one for Stevenson to get the Mountaineers in the scoring column. Flagler one-on-one. Pulls up, can't hit off the back rim. Rebound controlled by George, the freshman. Bridges a deep 3. Too strong, and Bell able to capture the miss for West Virginia. Skip pass to Mitchell, and he's held on the floor. A foul on the Bears.
Love this play call right here. The flex cut for Eric Stevenson. Why? Because you get your scorer, your best scorer. Let him see the ball go in the hole once. He sees this, gets an easy 2 points. Now he can get rolling. Look, his confidence right there to shoot that 3. Get him going. Let him see the ball go in easy one time and try to get him rolling.
He's missed his first 2 threes. George gets downhill and draws a foul. Keontae George, 7th in the Big 12 in scoring, 2nd among all NCAA freshmen, averaging 16.8 points per game. He's headed to the line for 2. Mohamed Wagee, the sophomore from Bronx, New York, set to check in for the Mountaineers. George, an 83% marksman. George has his first point. Freshman from nearby Louisville, Texas, in terms of proximity to Waco. Number 6 overall player in ESPN's Top 100.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with, I mean, we all know he can score. That's what he's known for. He just has a knack for putting the ball in the hole. But his playmaking, his vision, he can see things that I didn't think that he could really see, and his buy-in on the defensive side.
Baylor coach Scott Drew told us earlier today that he's starting to do less thinking, which is a good thing for a freshman. It's coming more natural to him. Bears by 2. Out front, Johnson lets it fly. Rebound, Karam's long. George bumped and fouled. Fouls on West Virginia. I believe it's on Mitchell. A low-scoring battle at the first media timeout. Baylor leads it by 2 in Morgantown.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
When I first started out as a filmmaker, I didn't want to get into credit cards because I realized I didn't know anything about it, and it felt very risky to me. So my friend told me about Chime. I got the credit builder card, and it was crazy. I didn't have to worry about interest. I didn't have to worry about fees. It wasn't a credit check. My score is up 80 points. I just finished my feature film, and it feels like there's a future ahead to where we're saving up to buy a house. Look, if I can do it, you can do it too. Join me at chime.com.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey! You're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Melbourne, you are amazing. Kia Arena is rocking. Straight nitro from Curious. It's the miracle in Melbourne. Amazing. If you love tennis, you're loving this.
The Australian Open begins January 15th on ESPN. The story starts here.
Melbourne, you are amazing. Kia Arena is rocking. If you love tennis, you're loving this.
The Australian Open begins January 15th on ESPN. The story starts here.
Baylor on top 4-2 at our first media timeout. Welcome inside WVU Coliseum alongside former Baylor guard King McClure. I'm James Westling, and King, Baylor leads by 2. Both teams 0-3 in Big 12 play coming in. But for West Virginia, how important is it to protect your home floor in this league?
Yeah, it's huge. And this West Virginia team, they could easily be 2-1. I mean, you go to K-State, you're dominating the whole game, and all of a sudden you give it up. Then you go to Oklahoma State, you're about to make a comeback. Stevenson gets the tech, and it kind of changes the game, changes the flow of the game. So your season could easily be 2-1 right now, and that's what Bob Huggins said earlier when we talked to him. He has faith in his team. His team is good. Their offense is great. Trey Mitchell is one of the best players in the Big 12 that nobody talks about as far as being an inside-out threat. Eric Stevenson can really score. They have the pieces. They just have to stay locked in and stay focused for a whole 40 minutes.
4-2 our score in favor of Baylor. These teams have started 2 for 12 from the field. Cold shooting or just really good defense?
You say cold shooting. West Virginia has had good looks. They've gotten the good looks. They just haven't gotten them to fall. Same thing with Baylor. Baylor's had a few good looks too.
George pull up from the baseline. He hit it with some contact. 6-2 Baylor.
Yeah, he just has that knack for scoring. I mean, right there, Evan Matthews guarding him. 6'8", very long. Still makes the shot even though it's heavily contested.
Stevenson whips it to nobody in particular. West Virginia turns it over for the second time in the early going.
Let's take a look at this replay right here, this bucket. I mean, this is great defense. You really can't ask for any better defense. He's right there. That's a contest. That's a great contest. Keontae George just knows how to put the ball in the bucket.
Next level stuff from Keontae George. Coach Drew told us that Keontae's getting better with his shot selection. Pops out for an open look from deep, and he nails it. Already 7 for the freshman. And Baylor leads by 7. It's 9-2. Johnson slices in, flips it up, can't get the roll. George there to claim it for Baylor. Baylor's made their last 2 shots, both from Keontae George. Flagler against Wagi.
That's great defense right there from Wagi. That's impressive.
The 6'10" center on him, lobs it over the top, and an offensive foul called on Baylor.
That's impressive. That right there at 6'10", to stay in front of one of the best offensive creators in the Big 12. Those plays like that is what Bob Huggins loves to see.
And Adam Flagler just picked up his second foul. So he'll have to sit. We'll keep an eye on how this Baylor coaching staff manages his workload the rest of the half with 14 and change left in this first session.
You know, I think the biggest thing, James, when you look at both of these teams, I think when I played against West Virginia or when I went to Baylor, the one thing that both programs prided themselves on was defense. And this year, the defenses on both programs are not the same, especially Baylor. I mean, Baylor is right now number 86 in the country when it comes to defensive efficiency. Neither one of these programs have lived up to that mark or the expectation when it comes to guarding the basketball.
Baylor maintains possession. That was the 3rd West Virginia turnover. Baylor's on a 9-0 run. And Baylor coach Scott Drew told us earlier today that a lot of their miscues defensively just has to do with the fact that they're so young. This is one of his youngest teams.
Yeah, I mean, they're young, but they also have experience. I mean, when you look at Adam Flagler's been here. Caleb Loner's played college basketball. Jalen Bridges has too. When you look at the guys who play a lot of minutes, they have still been there. I mean, yeah, you have some young guys, but 86 in the country, bottom of the 80s is not acceptable. And I know Coach Drew is not happy with that.
Fouls on Jimmy Bell Jr., and that's his second. So foul trouble for a couple of starters. Flagler for Baylor, Bell Jr. for West Virginia, and he is a monster on the glass for the Mountaineers. Averages over 6 rebounds per game. He has 40 offensive rebounds. That's where he excels for the Mountaineers. Ojanwuna got the bounce. splits the pair. 69% foul shooter for the year.
Right now, if you're West Virginia, I'm looking to try to get Trey Mitchell the ball. He hasn't been aggressive, hasn't got a shot tonight. I'm looking to get Trey Mitchell the basketball.
Emmett Matthews Jr. a miss, and West Virginia has started ice cold 0 for 5 from downtown. A foul on the inside. It's going to be on Baylor. Fouls on Langston Love, his first. But in league play, West Virginia just 23% from 3 coming into this one. They shot 38% from downtown in non-conference play, 23% here in their 3 league games. Shot won't go for Mitchell.
I think Mitchell has to convert right there. When you're 6'9", you have the 6'4" Keontae George on you. You have to go convert that bucket.
Long rebound after George misses the 3. To the cutter, Mitchell, right down the boulevard, and he delivers.
And just like he finished that one, he has to go through Keontae. He has to go through the smaller defender and play through his chest, just like he finished right there.
That ends the 8-0 Baylor run. Dale Bonner's checked in for the Bears, operates the point, misses the gimme. Rebound West Virginia. Johnson ahead of the pack. Scores it, count the basket, and one.
No, this is one of the areas that we have seen Baylor really struggle with. When they played TCU, TCU killed them in transition. Guarding the ball, getting back, putting a body in front of somebody, Baylor has not done a great job of. Transition defense has not been a strong suit for them. And right now, you see the last 2 points, last 2 buckets have been in transition. Baylor has to correct that. And if I'm West Virginia, I'm looking to push the ball, push the tempo, try to get easy buckets in the transition game.
How much did West Virginia miss Kedrian Johnson on Saturday against KU?
Yeah, he just does so much. I mean, Toussaint was asked to do a lot. And it takes the pressure off of him because Kedrian Johnson is just such a dynamic player as far as playmaking. Offensively, he can score for you. I mean, he hits big shots. He does a lot for you.
A deflection, last touched by a Mountaineer. Stays on this end with Baylor. Starting to see some shots fall for both teams after they started. Baylor started 2 for 6. West Virginia started 1 for 10.
Right now, this is where L.J. Cryer has to be that guy. That's a great find. That's a great shot. Keontae George is going to step up, but right now, with the lineup they have on the floor, they have Keontae as the main scorer, and L.J. Cryer has to be the second guy because everybody else on the court is not really a shot creator. So L.J. Cryer has to be aggressive right now during his time.
Keontae George already in double figures with 10. Over the top, Mitchell, double clutch, and he draws a foul. And he is an outstanding free throw shooter at 85%. First foul issued to Baylor's Flo Thamba on the inside. Mitchell, the transfer from Texas, grew up just a little over an hour up the road in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Started his collegiate career at UMass.
You know, he's starting to look like the Trey Mitchell from UMass. Last season at Texas, I mean, he was okay. That wasn't his best. I feel like we can all agree that wasn't the best that we've seen him be. But right now, I mean, averaging 15-8 in conference, shooting a remarkable, I mean, only 37 from 3, but as a 6'9" wing, 6'9" hybrid forward, that's pretty solid. He's extremely talented and just, I feel like he can do more. I think he's not doing enough that he can do. I think he has another level that he can take it to.
West Virginia, this is an experienced bunch. 6 new players this year for the Mountaineers. All of them with extensive D1 experience. Cryer, Caleb Lohner's checked in for Baylor. Deep in the shot clock. Thamba in trouble, has to hoist it up. It's an air bank and a shot clock violation forced by West Virginia. Baylor by 4.
Keontae George, I know he's young, but he plays like he's old. He gets buckets at a high rate, and They're going to need these tonight.
I need to try it first.
When you're choosing your heart care team, the stakes are high. You want answers and a clear path forward. But mostly, you just want your life back. The WVU Heart and Vascular Institute can help. Our cardiologists and heart surgeons are national and international leaders in heart care, solving the most difficult cases at West Virginia's #1 ranked hospital and highest rated cardiac program by U.S. News and World Report. Your heart care's a choice. Choose the best.
The air feels different on fall Saturdays in West Virginia. Familiar roads lead us on early morning drives to a place where we feel alive. And traditions bring together a fierce fan base, united by the same passion: West Virginia football. As West Virginia's bank, we've been there, and we'll continue to be there. United Bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers.
The Coliseum, where the spirit of 1.8 million West Virginians wills you to victory.
And all the people of Morgantown go banana!
I don't think I've ever seen this place as alive as it is tonight.
This is as loud a building as we have been in this season.
There's no place like it.
They're going wild here at the Coliseum.
Single game tickets are on sale now at WVUgame.com.
I need to try it first.
Can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then I go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my.
Let's take a look at Baylor's season recap. I mean, they started off the year extremely hot. Came into the season, they were playing well, got a few big victories, took a L to Virginia and Marquette, but they were playing extremely well, then got to conference, and they've had their struggles. I mean, we talked about it earlier, and the level of defense that they've been playing is not typical to what you're used to seeing from Baylor. It's not acceptable. It's just not good enough. When you're in the 80s, you're not going to be able to win Big 12 games and Big 12 battles playing that level of defense. But their dynamic backcourt has been great, and they've relied so heavily on these guys.
Baylor's allowed 84 points per game in regulation of their last 3 games. What do you like about the way they're defending here tonight?
Well, right now, I feel like it's just a matter of West Virginia has missed open shots. I feel like when they get in transition in the half court, they've still gotten their open looks. They just haven't got them to fall. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's Baylor's defense. I would just say right now it's more so West Virginia missing shots.
West Virginia started 3 for 12 from the floor, 0 for 5 from downtown. Joe Dusant has checked in off the bench, the Iowa transfer, to try to provide a lift offensively. Shot clock at 6. Mitchell. Stevenson, fall away, in and out. And it's one and done for West Virginia. Thamba there to clear it. Pryor. Flagler finds Bridges. You'll hear it from the crowd all night long, the West Virginia transfer. Has 19 friends and family in attendance here tonight. Shot clock at 7 for the Bears. Flagler out there with 2 fouls. Throws it up with the left, won't go. And it's out of bounds to West Virginia.
That's where it's going to be tough tonight. Trying to ISO guys against West Virginia when you have the length of Matthews, we have the length of Mitchell, Stevenson even at being 6'4". They're really hard to ISO. because they're so long, they're athletic, they can get in front of you, they can contest and make the finish harder. So it's going to be really hard for Baylor to play one-on-one basketball. They have to be able to drive the gap and find their teammates.
4-point lead for the Bears. And that was already the 7th foul on Baylor, so it's 1-and-1 time for West Virginia. They're in the bonus the rest of the half, and this is James Okonkwo, the sophomore from England. Played at Beckley Prep here in West Virginia. Can't hit the front end. Out of bounds to the Mountaineers. It's West Virginia's first miss from the charity stripe, which has been a major problem for them in league play, shooting just 58% from the line in their 3 Big 12 games.
And a lot of times these games come down to one possession. So if it comes down to one possession and you miss a few free throws, that can come back and hurt you.
Toussaint with a crafty move. Pulled the Scottie Pippen in the '94 NBA Finals. This will put him at the line to shoot 2, where Toussaint is 74% for the year.
Yeah, this is just such a heads-up play by Toussaint. A guy who was a tremendous passer, tremendous playmaker at Iowa, and now he's on this West Virginia team, and he's had to almost reinvent himself. He's had to change his game, and he's being called on to score more, provide more offensive production, instead of setting up the offense and passing the ball to Luke Garza and the shooters.
Coach Huggins told us prior to tip that he is an extremely hard worker. He played 36 minutes in absence of Kedrian Johnson on Saturday. Bonner, big steps, no. Out of bounds to West Virginia. Baylor hasn't scored in the last 2-11, which is a long scoring drought for a team that averages over 80 per night. Keontae George re-enters for the Bears. West Virginia, they don't have any field goals in the last 2.5 minutes. Approaching the midway point of this first session. Toussaint navigating. Rip through from Mitchell. Pierces the lane, turnaround. And George already has his 6th rebound of the night. His career high is 7 coming in. George hunting his shot. Sputters off, and Mitchell's there to claim it for the Mountaineers. West Virginia can tie with a 3. They haven't hit one tonight. Wilson, teardrop. That's pretty.
You know, on both sides right now. When you look at Okonkwo and you look at Odranmuna, they're young. So on the pick and roll, you can really pick on both bigs in the pick and roll because they're not great at dropping back. They'll give up the bounce pass.
West Virginia's on a 10-3 run over the last 4.5 minutes. Cryer got it off the window. Tough shot from L.J. Cryer.
And that's what I want to see out of him. I want to see him get shot attempts up. There's some games he'll even shoot the ball 5 times. You got to shoot the ball more, L.J. Cryer, because you're that level of player. We knew what you did last year, almost averaging 15. He has to be able to get more attempts up. And that right there, getting the pick and roll, pick on the young freshman big.
Toussaint, the assist. Okonkwo with the finish. 1-point lead for Baylor. Jump pass to Cryer. Stevenson annoying him out on the arc. Cryer, that's a dead eye from L.J. Cryer. It's 28th 3 of the year. Stevenson, his rebuttal. Cryer with it on the move. Gets called for a carry. Turnover Baylor in the open floor, and that is their 4th.
That's a good call. A lot of times when he hits the in and out move, he typically gets his ball, gets his hand underneath the basketball. That's the right call.
18-14. It's a 4-point lead for Baylor. Baylor has led wire to wire so far. If you're West Virginia, you're shooting just 29% from the field. Do you feel okay about where you're at, down by just 4?
Yeah, I mean, your defense is holding up.
Right.
Your defense is playing extremely well. Offensively, you're going to see shots go in eventually. But defensively, as long as you can maintain that and keep it close, I think you're fine going into the locker room.
Extra pass out to Stevenson. Lobs it over the top. Wagee with the finish around the rim. Stevenson with the assist. West Virginia's made 5 of their last 8 shots after starting 1 for 10.
And that's just great ball movement right there by West Virginia. The swing, hit the extra one more. Stevenson drives the gap, and a wide open dump down to the big. Great ball movement.
And an unselfish pass from Stevenson, too.
Yeah, a lot of times Stevenson would have shot that, but he saw the big step up, so that's just a great play.
Stripped underneath, and standing on the inline was Trey Mitchell. It'll stay with Baylor. The Bears have it when we come back. 2-point game in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
You deserve a better credit score.
Whoa.
Chime can help no matter where you're at.
Whoa.
Because with everyday purchases and on-time payments,
Whoa.
things can happen a lot easier.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, you deserve some credit.
Whoa.
Get started at Chime.com.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey, you're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Melbourne, you are amazing. The Kia Arena is rocking. If you love tennis, you're loving this.
The Australian Open begins January 15th on ESPN. The story starts here.
Has this ever happened to you?
How was school? Fine, whatever.
Oh no, not again! Eliminate that frustrating failure to communicate with Smell and Tell. One smell makes kids tell all the issues they face.
Mom, I need to talk to you.
Stop struggling and start communicating. Call now.
Okay, stop. Cut. Listen, there's no magic formula to connect with kids about the challenging issues they face, but help is available. Start at ChooseKindnessProject.com.
Allen, end zone, touchdown!
Smashing the rim. Wilson hooking it up. Tatum step back three.
Baylor freshman guard Keontae George averaging 18.5 points per game in his last 5. Kingy already has 10 tonight and 6 rebounds.
He's been impressive. I mean, the way he's getting it off the bounce, making tough shots. I mean, they let him get one open, wide open in the top of the key. I mean, right there, if you let a shooter get the ball, get a shot wide open, his confidence goes through the roof, and all of a sudden it becomes a long night for you. But Keontae George he's a dynamic scorer. I mean, you'll see him on the next level. You see him as a first-round draft pick next year because of his ability to shot create.
He's the only player in the Big 12 that's attempted more than 100 threes this season. He hit his first shot from in close, and he's continued the hot shooting as George with another bucket. That one at the iron. He's up to 12 for Baylor.
I like this zone look. Going back to that 11 zone that Baylor used to play, that they're known to play. I like this. Switch it up right now.
How does West Virginia attack it?
Right now you drive the gaps. There's a lot of open areas, the corners. Be able to get the ball to the corners. What you don't want to do is settle for threes.
Tip in for Mitchell, it'll go.
Also, the offensive glass, very vulnerable. When you're in a zone, you're not able to match up man to man. So there's mishaps on the offensive glass.
Keontae George spins it. Flagler out there with 2 fouls, shovels it. Thamba, he's hacked, going up. Flo Thamba headed to the line. 52% foul shooter for Baylor. Thamba made his 80th consecutive start tonight. Hits the first. Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 basketball fans. A Saturday at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, number 2 Kansas hosts number 14 Iowa State at Allen Fieldhouse in Lawrence. And the early rounds of the Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament can be seen on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. It all starts March 8th at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. If you'd prefer to attend the event, tickets on sale at big12sports.com/buy tickets. 4-point lead for Baylor. West Virginia still 0 from downtown, 0 for 7. Toussaint trying to end the drought, can't. Rebound, volleyed off the glass. Thamba able to collect for Baylor. George in the open floor, lets it fly. Wide left. The rebound sails out of bounds. It'll go back to West Virginia. Baylor's now 3 for 8 from deep.
Right now, if you're West Virginia and you're going against this zone, one thing you can't do is fall in love with the 3. If you're hitting, it's okay, but do not fall in love with the 3. Put your head down and try to get into the gaps, get into the seams. That's what puts pressure on this zone defense.
Adrian Johnson is re-entered for West Virginia, has it out high between the circles. Corner 3 from Wilson. In and out. And Bridges pulls it down for Baylor. Flagler, he'll pull the trigger, and he'll knock it down. 42nd 3 of the year for Adam Flagler, his first points of the night.
And that's one thing you can't do. You've seen it twice now. You cannot go under a ball screen when one of the guards at Baylor is the top of the key. They will stop on a dime and pull that 3.
Johnson can't hit. West Virginia now 0 for 10 from the land of 3.
Settling for too many jumpers. The last 4 possessions have been 3-pointers, and they have not hit. Get to the rim, try to switch it up. But right now, they're settling for too many jumpers.
Baylor, meanwhile, they make more threes than anybody else in the league. Over 9 per game. Shot clock at 10. Flagler roars in. Driving kick and a blocking foul called on West Virginia in the halo underneath. It'll be on Kedrian Johnson.
That's an area where I think Adam Flagler can get it just a little bit better at. He took an extra dribble. The last dribble he took was not needed. He should have kicked right there because the corner man sagged in. Keontae George was wide open. Adam Flagler should have taken one less dribble, kick to the corner. He has to get better at that.
8 on the shot clock, and they'll reset it to 20. Is this dangerous waters for West Virginia, down by 7? How critical are the next 4.5 minutes?
You just have to rely on your defense. Rely on your defense to try to get to the rim. Stop settling for jumpers. If you can get to the rim, crash the glass, and rely on your defense, I think you're okay.
L.J. Cryer trying to turn the corner. Offensive foul. He shouldered his defender, Joe Toussaint.
Now, this was just an awkward play. I mean, Joe Toussaint up top was very handsy on the pick and roll, but that's the right call. L.J. Cryer extended the arm. That's a right call. That's an offensive foul.
Second foul on L.J. Cryer. The backcourt duo of Cryer and Adam Flagler for Baylor, each with a pair of fouls. West Virginia, they've missed their last 4 shots and haven't scored in almost 2.5 minutes. Struggling against this zone with the shot clock into single digits. 6 on the timer. Johnson loses control. He's in trouble. Toussaint throws it up. Wild shot. It'll drizzle in for Joe Toussaint.
When you get into the middle of the lane, good things will happen for you. Get the ball to the middle of the paint area, great things will happen. Stop settling for jumpers against the zone.
Baylor by 5. Bridges lets it rip. Won't go. Wilson tracks it down, fetches the rebound for West Virginia. Wilson thought about it, gives it up. Matthews Jr. He rips the cords. First three of the night for the Mountaineers. They missed their first 10.
Now, Emmett Matthews is playing the best basketball of his career. He has never shot the ball as well as he is shooting right now. At 41%, he's just looking confident. I mean, past few years when he would shoot the three, when he'd be on offense, he just wouldn't look confident. Now, you can see the difference.
Down to a one-possession lead for Baylor. Flagler, runner, pops out. Bridges, power dribble. Follow is good. Timeout Baylor with 2:55 left in the first. Baylor by 4.
We talk about confidence, and Emmett Matthews is playing with confidence. Doesn't matter, guard him or not, it's going up, and at 41%, you can pretty much count on it.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
When I first started out as a filmmaker, I didn't want to get into credit cards because I realized I didn't know anything about it, and it felt very risky to me. So my friend told me about Chime. I got the credit builder card, and it was crazy. I didn't have to worry about interest. I didn't have to worry about fees. It wasn't a credit check. My score is up 80 points. I just finished my feature film, and it feels like there's a future ahead to where we're saving up to buy a house. Look, if I can do it, you can do it too. Join me at chime.com.
Has this ever happened to you?
How was school? Fine, whatever.
Oh no, not again! Eliminate that frustrating failure to communicate with Smell and Tell. One smell makes kids tell all the issues they face.
Mom, I need to talk to you.
Stop struggling and start communicating. Call now.
Okay, stop. Cut. Listen, there's no magic formula to connect with kids about the challenging issues they face, but help is available. Start at ChooseKindnessProject.com.
Everybody want to see the best. They came to see us. Let's put on the show, baby. All right, let's go be great today. Let's go.
Here's the thing about the good times in life. We don't always realize we're in them. When greatness is unfolding right in front of us. When superstars, rising stars, jokers, and freaks collide. This time could be up there with the greatest of times. It's a beautiful time for basketball.
Baylor leads West Virginia here in Morgantown, West Virginia, 27-23. Much to the dismay of West Virginia head coach Bob Huggins. Our game summary, West Virginia getting most of their points on the inside King. Meanwhile, Baylor starting to heat up. They've got 4 threes.
Yeah, I mean, for West Virginia, they have taken good looks. I mean, once Baylor came out in the zone, they kind of settled for threes. But for Baylor, I mean, they're just taking what the defense is giving them. They're hitting the three off the pick and roll. They're hitting the right man. They're just taking the easy play. West Virginia settling for too many jumpers. When they get in the paint, good things will happen.
The rebounding nearly dead even, 15-13 in favor of Baylor. These are the top 2 offensive rebounding teams in the conference. 4-point lead for the Bears, West Virginia. Matthews pops out, can't hit it. Long rebound, Toussaint. He attacks. Can't finish, no. And Thamba has it for Baylor. West Virginia coach Bob Huggins said, we have to miss more 2-footers than any other team in the history of college basketball. Bridges loses his footing, that's a walk. 6th Baylor turnover. Baylor has to be careful on this end of the floor. They have 4 players, King, with 2 fouls, 2 and change to go before the half.
Yeah, especially with the time that's on the clock, you don't want to pick up your third. So if you have to give up a bucket, give it up, because that's more valuable. Your fouls, having fewer fouls is more valuable than the points you gave up.
Matthews, his shot's no good, and it's tipped out of bounds over the back off of Mohamed Wagee. It goes back to Baylor. West Virginia, 31% from the field in this first stanza.
And, you know, even though they haven't scored since that timeout, I like what they're trying to do. I like where they're trying to get the ball in the paint, get easier shots, stop settling for threes. I know Bob Huggins stressed that in that timeout.
Offensive foul and illegal screen called on Flo Thamba. That is his 2nd foul, make it his 3rd foul. 3rd foul on Baylor center Flo Thamba.
And Flo just has to know that. I mean, you're a 5th-year senior. You've been here before plenty of times. You have to know that you cannot pick up your 3rd foul right there.
Stevenson's been quiet in this first stanza. Stevenson for a 3. Rebound, Bridges has it for Baylor. Whistle. Some extracurricular on the inside. And the arrow should belong to Baylor as they pull apart the bodies around the foul line.
Look, I know one thing, Jalen Bridges is not giving that ball up. I mean, with the way that the crowd is talking to him, with all the emotions that he has, being back in one of his places that he loved so dearly, he's not giving that ball up. He is taking that one with him. He was not letting go of that.
Started 52 games for the Mountaineers over the last couple of seasons, transferred to Baylor. Baylor coach Scott Drew said that he just simply needed a change of scenery. Felt he would fit in to this Baylor offense and how they operate.
And he's still trying to find his footing. I think that at West Virginia, I mean, he played better than he is right now playing at Baylor. He definitely shot the ball better. So I think he's still trying to find it. And it's all about confidence for him. I think eventually he will, but he hit the big shot against Kansas State to send it to OT. But it's all about confidence for Jalen Bridges. And I think sometimes it kind of is too much like a roller coaster for him, too up and down.
Pryor's 3 was off the mark. Stevenson fouled at the rim. That'll put Eric Stevenson at the line. 2 points in this first half. This will be his first trip to the foul line. And sometimes seeing a couple of free throws go in the hole can get an offensive player going.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we saw the flex cut where you got the easy layup. I mean, we see these 2 free throws. I mean, the layup is a layup, but sometimes, like you said, when you're shooting the free throw, it's almost like a jumper, but you're not jumping. That can get your shot going.
70% foul shooter. And it swirls in. West Virginia, they've attempted the most threes in this league, 94 coming into tonight, but shooting just 58% from the stripe in league play. And in their wins this season, they're 75% from the line. In their losses, less than 60. Stevenson gets them both. It's a 2-point game with just over a minute left before the half. Keontae George has a game-high 12. George terminates his dribble. Shot clock at 10. Baylor wants a timeout. .8 left, and Keontae George is not happy with his fellow freshman, Josh Ojanwuna.
Yeah, I mean, as a freshman, this is Keontae George's first true road environment. I mean, when you go to Iowa State is a great crowd, great atmosphere. They're just loud. That's the biggest difference. When you come to West Virginia, the students being right here, they're ruthless. They're going to call you all types of names. They're going to say things. They can have an effect on the game and get in your head. And Keontae George right there, that's an area he has to get better at, his body language. Sometimes he has too much negative body language. Has to be more of an encourager and lift up his teammates.
Baylor leads the all-time series 14-8, seeking their 4th straight win. They've won 2 in a row here in Morgantown. You remember your first Big 12 road game?
Yeah, I was at KU. We were down. I came off the bench. I came in the game. We were down by 20. That place was rocking. You couldn't hear yourself talk. You really couldn't even hear yourself think. I come in the game, and that's the first time I ever thought to myself, I do not want to play. I want to go sit down. It was too much for me. I've also had some bad games in here as well. #1 in the country, come back, they smack us by 30, Javon Carter, and oh my goodness.
Flagler, money from the corner.
We needed that when we came in here and got beat by 30. We needed Adam Flagler to go get a bucket.
This environment is underrated. One of the best in the land. About 6 seconds between game and shot. 5-point lead for Baylor. Emmett Matthews Jr. tries to go baseline, shovels it to Wagi, and he's able to score.
That's a tough pass to make. You get doubled right there, find the open man. Great pass by Emmett Matthews.
Down to 6 seconds. George with 3. Keontae George, corner, fall away, hit it! Incredible shot from Keontae George. They'll take a look. 33-27. Baylor has led the entire first half wire to wire.
Oh my. I mean, this is just such a tough shot. You want to know why he's going to get drafted in the first round? It's because of plays like this. He just has a knack for scoring, and he does it at such a high level. This is an extremely tough shot. Fading away out of bounds. He's an elite scorer. That's an NBA level score right there.
Stayed inbounds, clearly beat the buzzer. And Baylor has a 6-point cushion as we head to intermission. Halftime. Our score, Baylor 33, West Virginia 27. We'll have more from Morgantown, West Virginia after this short break.
Eat like a king.
Welcome back inside WVU Coliseum in Morgantown, West Virginia, where the Baylor Bears lead the West Virginia Mountaineers 33-27 here at the half. Joined by King McClure, I'm James Westling, and a 6-point lead for Baylor at intermission. And King, Keontae George looks the part. The freshman has 15 points in the first session.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at NBA level scores, one thing they all do well is shoot the jumper. And this guy right here, it doesn't matter if it's contested, uncontested. I mean, hand in the face, good defense, running off screens, getting his feet set. It's just an automatic bucket. He's such a great scorer in the end of the half. Oh, my goodness.
Unconscious. He made his first couple from in close. How much confidence did that give him to kind of work his way from the inside out?
Yeah, for good scorers, I mean, just seeing the ball go through the hoop is so huge, especially during game. I mean, in warm-ups and halftime, you can see the ball go in, but it all matters when it's live action. When that ball goes through, you see one go in, oh my goodness, your eyes light up. The next one can go in, then the next one can go in. So for Keontae George, the hoop looks huge.
Meanwhile, for the West Virginia Mountaineers, just 1 for 12 from downtown in the first 20 minutes. They're only down by 6. They're only down by a couple of threes, but how do you feel about the looks they're getting?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't gotten bad looks. I mean, Eric Stevenson has been struggling. They need him to get going in the second half, but they have not gotten bad looks. They kind of settled when the zone came, but for the most part, I mean, Emmett Matthews, the 3 that he hit was absolutely huge for this team. They've gotten decent looks, and they're going to need some of them to fall. I think Eric Stevenson has to get going in the second half because he needs to be huge. He is their guy. He needs to be that guy for West Virginia.
Our first half summary, West Virginia did get 11 points off the bench and 18 of their 27 from in the paint. But the big difference, those 6 Baylor threes to West Virginia's 1. Big picture, King, what do you think will be the difference in the final half?
For me, I think it comes down to the offensive glass. I mean, I think with all the misses, one thing that Coach Huggins talked about when we were talking to him before the game is the reason why they're so good at offensive rebounding is because they miss so much. So I think that right there is key. Being able to rebound your misses, and I think if they can get Mitchell and Stevenson going, they have a great chance of winning this ball game.
West Virginia will have it first. Baylor's Keontae George hit a fadeaway 3 from the corner to expand the lead from 3 to 6 at halftime, right before the buzzer.
And I like this. I like what Coach Scott Drew is doing right here. Go back to the zone. It gave them fits in the first half. We'll go back to it in the second half.
Baylor's in major foul trouble. Stevenson, his first 3 of the night, on target from downtown.
That's the only bad thing about the zone. I mean, you let a great shooter like Eric Stevenson just walk into a wide open 3. Like I said, you see one go in, now your eyes light up. Let's see if that triggers him going off.
He's up to 7 points, and he commits a foul out front.
I mean, just look how easy this is. Super late contest. He had all day to shoot that one, and he's too good of a shooter for you to be left that open.
Just picked up his second personal foul. Baseline jumper from L.J. Cryer knocks it in.
I like that action from Coach Drew. Run L.J. Cryer off down screens, make the taller defender and Emmett Matthews chase him. I like that offensive play call.
Coach Drew told us that it was just taking L.J. Cryer a little bit of time to get back into his rhythm. He missed a couple of games due to a concussion. Spin move along the baseline. Trey Mitchell all tangled up with a bear. That'll be in the act of shooting and put him at the line for 2.
That's a matchup that West Virginia can exploit all day long. When you look at Emmett Matthews and you look at Trey Mitchell, those guys are 6'8", 6'9". They're playing the 3 for West Virginia. Well, the 3 of Baylor is 6'3", 6'4". They have a huge size advantage down low. They can exploit that all second half long.
Mitchell, the 85% marksman from the line, puts it in. And West Virginia, 7 for 9 as a unit, 77.8% tonight. Mitchell drops them both in. All of a sudden, back to a 1-possession game here in the early stages of the second.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Flo Thamba not out there right now. I mean, it's early on in the second half, and Coach Drew is going with his freshman. I think that's an interesting decision, and we'll see how it pays off.
Thamba picked up his 3rd personal foul right before the half. George, head fake. Knocks it down, Keontae George. Hits his 4th 3. He's up to 18 points.
Yeah, we talked about Eric Stevenson being left open earlier. Well, right there, Keontae George had the separation, the pump fake, because he bit on it because he was so open. Easy bucket.
Great cut by Emmett Matthews Jr. Collects his own miss, padding his stats with the offensive rebound, eventually gets it through. Minutes gone by in this second half of action. Flagler demanding a screen from the freshman Ojonwuna. Shot clock at 8. Flagler gets to break the perimeter. Pocket pass. Ojonwuna couldn't handle it, and a foul called on West Virginia to bail him out. Fouls on Eric Stevenson, and that's his 3rd foul.
Eric Stevenson just has to know. In a scenario like that, you get hit in the pick and roll, the big is rolling, give up the 2. Give up the 2 points. You're valuable. You cannot be on the bench. You are the guy on the team. You have to let some things go.
Foul was on the floor. George picking his spots. Puts it up and 1. Keontae George is taking over for Baylor. 20 points, and he's headed to the line.
Keontae George is a simple way to put it, is in his bag right now. That's a great split. He picks up the ball at just the right time so the big cannot strip it down and gets an easy and one.
And that foul was issued to Jimmy Bell Jr., who sat most of the first half with 2 quick ones. That's his third. George caps off the old-fashioned three-point play. Baylor has matched its largest lead, 41-34. Baylor back into their matchup zone. Skip pass. Kedrian Johnson tees it up. Off the heel. Mitchell. Back out front. Toussaint. He'll try his hand. He'll hit it.
Right there. The offensive rebound by Trey Mitchell allowed a wide open 3 on the backside. The offensive glass will be key for West Virginia.
George, 17-footer, rolls across the rim, and Wilson took it away from Ojonwuna. Wilson, pull up in transition, buckets. Wilson's 15th 3 of the year.
Yeah, he knew that one was going in. I saw that. The way he dribbled into the pull-up 3 in transition, his eyes were on one thing, and that was the rim. I saw that. He was getting that one up.
It's a 1-point game in Morgantown, West Virginia. Flagler, step back. That's a long 2, barely nicks the rim, and it's 1 and done for the Bears. Mitchell, in and out, wanted a foul. Flagler, tripped in the open floor. Baylor, Flagler attacks, kills his dribble, finds Cryer, his rise and fire, sputters in.
That's the key thing. Whenever you're on the road and the crowd gets into it, you have to be deliberate with your possessions. You have to know where you want to go, and you have to take the right shots.
West Virginia had scored the last 6 prior to that L.J. Cryer pull-up. Still a 1-possession lead for Baylor. They've led wire to wire so far. Toussaint working on Cryer. Left it short, and Bridges there to obtain the miss for Baylor. Flagler trailing 3. It's in. Adam Flagler hits his 3rd 3 of the game. Timeout, West Virginia. The last 5 belong to Baylor.
They're trading 3s right now, 3 for 3. 3 in transition. Now that's impressive. But on the flip side, Baylor has an answer, and his name is Adam Flagler.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
You deserve a better credit score.
Whoa.
Chime can help no matter where you're at.
Whoa.
Because with everyday purchases and on-time payments,
whoa,
things can happen a lot easier.
Whoa.
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 Whoa. Oh, you deserve some credit.
Whoa.
Get started at Chime.com.
This time could be up there with the greatest of times. And it starts now.
You gotta be kidding me! Allen, end zone, touchdown! Smashing the rim! Wilson hooking it up. Tatum step back 3.
Melbourne, you are amazing.
Kia Arena is rocking.
Straight nitro from Curious. It's the miracle in Melbourne.
Amazing.
If you love tennis, you're loving this.
The Australian Open begins January 15th on ESPN. The story starts here.
With King McClure, I'm James Westling. Baylor by 6. King, all 10 Big 12 teams in the top 60 at the NCAA net rankings. If the rankings as of today hold up for tomorrow, this will be a quad 1 win for whoever comes out on top.
Yeah, it's no easy nights. I mean, look at what Oklahoma did last night to Kansas. They had Kansas on the ropes. I mean, it's hard to win at Kansas, especially when you're playing 8-on-5, if you know what I mean. It's hard.
I think I do, King.
It's hard to win up there, but there's no easy nights in the Big 12. I mean, even you look at these two teams. If Baylor and West Virginia is at the bottom of the conference right now, that's a tough conference at 0-3. That's an extremely tough conference because both of these teams are really, really good.
Mitchell banging with his defender, sends it out. Toussaint knocks it in. Joe Toussaint hits his 14th three of the year, his second tonight.
You know, Joe Toussaint, when you look at this season, at this point of the season, he has shot more threes. He has attempted more threes than he has in any of the previous 3 seasons. Not combined, but total.
Cryer, no. Rebound, battling for it. Bridges threw it off the leg of a Mountaineer. And it'll be Baylor basketball when we come back. 3-point game in Morgantown. The Mountaineers are heating up here at home.
There's a powerful beast said to be roaming these woods. And if you listen carefully, you can hear it. And sometimes you can see its tracks. And every now and then, you get a quick glimpse of it.
Grandpa telling his stories again.
The 2023 Toyota Tundra. Better trucks make better stories. Toyota. Let's go places.
Helping those that help others. That's the mission of Charity Champions, a program designed to support nonprofits in Central Texas. Charity Champions started in 2014 to celebrate TFNB, Your Bank for Life's 125th anniversary. Champions get a marketing awareness campaign and world-class leadership development training from local consulting firm 360 Solutions. 8 years, 49 champions, and we're just getting started. Learn more at charitychampions.org.
So, Baylor's Gotten White now offers virtual care anytime. Like right now.
Now?
Yep.
Tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Even Saturday?
Yes. Any day or night. No trip to urgent care to find out you're gonna be okay.
I am?
Yeah, you are. MyBSW Health offers video visits and e-visits anytime.
Even during this game? Right now?
Yeah. Even if it goes into overtime. You're welcome. MyBSW Health, now 24/7.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive.
Babe, it's 8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Three-point game in Morgantown, West Virginia. Baylor's led wire to wire so far, but West Virginia inching closer. Joe Toussaint, 9 points off the bench, King, in 13 minutes for the Mountaineers.
And he's just being asked to do something that he hasn't done in the past few years. He's shooting the three and he's confident. And that's the biggest thing. Check this out, James. His freshman year, he attempted 37 threes. His sophomore year, he attempted 11 threes. Junior year, 35 threes. This year, before this game, the season hadn't even ended yet, he has attempted 42 threes. More threes already at this point of the season than he did in a full season his past 3 years. That right there just shows you that Bob Huggins is instilling confidence in this young man, and he is telling him, go out there, play your game, go score for me.
He's done it in 15 games. 3-point lead for Baylor. Toussaint, the reason why West Virginia leads the bench, scoring 20-1. Baylor's been bothered by foul trouble, clinging to a lead. Loose ball picked up by Flagler. Shot clock's at 5. Flagler with 3. Deep one from the logo, and it's out of bounds to West Virginia. West Virginia can tie with a 3. They've made 5 of their last 7. Baylor's back in the man-to-man.
And right now I'm looking for Toussaint to be aggressive. I mean, you're on fire, you've hit 2, be aggressive.
Mitchell sails in, can't get the roll, but he's headed to the line. West Virginia's finally been able to shoot Baylor out of that zone.
And I think part of it is just they're getting wide open looks. I mean, it kind of just looks like there's too many gaps. You can tell Baylor really hasn't practiced the zone much. There's too many wide open shots being taken and being attempted.
Fouls are mounting for the Bears. That's the 4th on Flo Thamba. He's their most experienced player. He's appeared in 10 NCAA tournament games. Meanwhile, Trey Mitchell has been automatic from the line now, 5 for 5. If he hits this next one, he'll be the first Mountaineer in double figures. It's a 2-point game. Mitchell's free throw, airborne and pure. And West Virginia, for the game, 82% from the foul line.
Right here for Baylor, Keontae Droyd is your option. Must go to him, put him in the pick and roll. Go to him right now, let him create.
He's got 21 points. He's only missed 4 shots all night. Top of the key 3. Swirls out in the rebound, Mitchell. Some extracurricular at the foul line. Officials will separate Kadrian Johnson and Dale Bonner. Both teams being sent to their respective benches.
Yeah, sometimes in games like this, a lot on the line. You don't want to go 0-4. Emotions are running high. In moments like this, I've had my bouts with Daxter Miles, Javon Carter, same thing, same similar situations. It just happens. It's part of the game. Nothing crazy, nothing extra, no pushing or shoving, just a little bit of talking. I don't think anything should happen to either one of these players, but it's just a little bit of talking, and you love to see it. You're so competitive. Sometimes, a lot of times with Eric Stevenson, we see it all the time. His celebrations, he's a little extra, but it's part of the game. As a professional in my new career, you can't do that, right? But as a hooper, as a basketball player, I get it 100%.
Emotions take over.
Emotions take over when you're on the court, and sometimes you can't control it. There's been plenty of times I'm looking back like, why did I do that while I was on the court? What was I thinking? But when you're in the midst of the battle, emotions take over. Nothing bad right here. Just 2 players drawing a little bit.
They're taking a look. Both teams at their respective benches. You brought up Javon Carter and Daxter Miles, the glory days of West Virginia basketball, not that long ago. Meanwhile, for Baylor, they have a history, like Carter and Miles for West Virginia, of really good point guards. Scott Drew, 17 of his last 18 seasons, his point guard has been recognized as all Big 12. Think about that.
That's impressive. I mean, look back at Davion Mitchell. You know, Davion Mitchell and Javon Carter remind me of each other so much. First off, they're 2 of the greatest defenders I've ever played against. Javon Carter will pick you up full court, and my man would never get tired. Davion Mitchell, same thing, but his was more in the half court, keeping you in front of him, not allowing you to get any angle or drive by him. 2 tremendous defenders, and you know that press Virginia was no joke.
Over there in the Baylor huddle is Tweed Carter, who really started the run of great Baylor point guards. And it was Kenny Cherry and Pierre Jackson, and you played with a good one, LeCompte.
And Manu LeCompte, Makai Mason. I mean, Baylor has had a great string of point guards. Coach Drew's done a great job of recruiting guys at that position who know how to get buckets, but also be able to facilitate and get their teammates involved.
So they're looking at this last play. I didn't see anything that should draw a foul. I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of it just being two guys making a basketball play. Here's another look.
There's two guys, John. It's part of the game. It's just a part of it. Nothing extra. Just two guys talking.
It's not even really any contact. 1-point game. Baylor leads 46-45. If you're Baylor, how do you fend off this West Virginia run?
Right now, it just comes down to a matter of taking the right shots and not letting the crowd affect you. Because when you're in this building, when you're playing on the court, a lot of times you take one bad shot or you turn the ball over, and as soon as the crowd gets into it, you let that affect you.
It is loud, it is rowdy here inside WVU Coliseum. They're going to come in. So foul on both players. Kedrian Johnson for West Virginia, Dale Bonner for Baylor. And the point of interruption is where the fouls occurred, and the team that had the ball was West Virginia. So it'll be the Mountaineers basketball king with a chance to take their first lead of the game.
That's the right call. I mean, that's a fair call. Double foul, nothing more than that. Play on. Good call and good ruling by the referee.
You see what's at stake. Both teams searching for their first league win in the best conference in basketball, and a foul called on Baylor. They'll get L.J. Cryer reaching in. That's his third personal foul. Third team foul on the Bears. Langston Love enters the lineup for Baylor. Inbounds to Trey Mitchell. West Virginia looking for the lead. Wilson. Shot clock at 10 for the Mountaineers. Johnson. Toussaint. Three ball. Not that time. Mitchell offensive rebound and a fresh 20. Up and under with the left hand. It pops out, and a foul called over the back on Baylor.
Yeah, first and foremost, that's an impressive pass from Kedrian Johnson. You get up in the air, you see the man drop, so you hit Toussaint, who's hit 2 threes in this half. He found him, located him. Toussaint just missed it. But we talked about the offensive glass. Baylor has to block out. And right there, Trey Mitchell, two big offensive rebounds that have led to points in the second half if he makes his free throw.
Mitchell with his first miss of the night. He has a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. He can knock the score with this second one. Missed them both. The 85% foul shooter can't hit either, and West Virginia still can't get over the hump. Baylor's led the whole way so far. Ojonwuna, handoff George. George looking to create. Throws up a runner, and it swirls home.
Oh, he's in his bag now. The 1-foot jumper, the 1-foot runner from a little bit beyond the free throw line. Yeah, that's confidence right there from a freshman, James.
23 points, unguardable. Another foul on this end.
Look, this is just such a tough shot. As a hooper, this is all confidence. To shoot this shot as a freshman, that's almost from the three-point line. A 1-foot jumper from the three-point line. That's just all confidence right there.
Kid is oozing with confidence. He had pajama pants on at the shoot-around today. Up and under from Toussaint. Finger roll is good.
Oh, yeah, pajama pants, that's too much confidence. You got to let those go. That's way too much confidence.
The line has been crossed. Okay, good to know. 1-point lead for Baylor. Down to 10 to shoot. Trying to get it back to George. Gives it up. Bridges, cuff and corner three. Offensive rebound. Bridges brought it down to his ribs and had it wrenched loose by a Mountaineer. Toussaint. Johnson knifing in. Bucket won't go, but he's hacked, and he'll head to the line to maybe give West Virginia their first lead of the night. It's a dogfight in Morgantown. Don't go anywhere.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
You deserve a better credit score.
Whoa.
Chime can help no matter where you're at.
Whoa.
Because with everyday purchases and on-time payments,
whoa,
things can happen a lot easier.
Whoa.
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 Whoa. Oh, you deserve some credit.
Whoa.
Get started at Chime.com.
Behind this picture-perfect meal, HelloFresh is working hard to protect our planet. We deliver just what you need with pre-portioned ingredients. On average, in the U.S., 54 million tons of food goes to waste each year. By skipping the grocery store and cooking a HelloFresh dinner, you'll reduce your food waste by up to 38%. You're also saving money. That's right. HelloFresh is better for the planet and your wallet. Go to HelloFresh.com/Yum22 for up to 22 free meals plus 3 free gifts.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey, you're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th? Here's the thing about the good times in life. We don't always realize we're in them. When greatness is unfolding right in front of us. When superstars, rising stars, jokers, and freaks collide, this time could be up there with the greatest of times. It's a beautiful time for basketball.
Well, James, it's been a tale of two halves. The first half, West Virginia just couldn't see one go in. But in the second half, because of this man, Joe Toussaint and Seth Wilson, they are seeing the three finally fall. And that is why they are about to almost take the lead right now if they make the free throws. Because their ability to knock down the three consistently, that's when they take their game to a different level. They're talented, they have the pieces, but they just have to get the shots to fall, which didn't happen in the first half.
Keep an eye on this guy, Eric Stevenson. He's only attempted 7 field goals tonight. He's sharing the basketball. Coach Huggins was not happy about him taking 19 shots against KU on Saturday.
I mean, whenever you take 19 shots to get 12 points, it's just not a good look as a basketball player. You look at the stat sheet and you automatically assume, no matter if you watch the game or not, you assume, oh, he's forced it. But he's their guy. So sometimes you have to live and die with that. But I would like to see him, at times when he's struggling, be a better playmaker. Get your teammates involved.
Adrian Johnson goes 2 for 2, and West Virginia has their first lead of the night.
This is when you rely. And oh, that's a great pass.
With the hammer. The assist from George, and Baylor's back on top.
And we talked about his scoring, but right there, that's an elite pass. That's a hard pass to make, especially from that angle. Wow.
He's top 10 in the Big 12 at assists as well. That's Keontae George with the dime. Mitchell. Stevenson slicing. Loses the handle, and Flagler has a steal for the Bears. And a foul call.
And this lob was just so impressive. threw it from his chest, and it was on point. Ojon Wuna didn't have to alter it, didn't have to jump a little bit higher. It was just right there, right in front of the rim to just throw it down.
Foul was on Kedrian Johnson, who's guarding Flagler out high. That's his third. Under 11 to go, Baylor by 1. George. No. Rebound, tip won't go. Mitchell falling to the floor. Johnson one-on-one for West Virginia. Burrows into the lane and draws another foul. Kedrian Johnson more assertive the last couple of trips for West Virginia.
Yeah, well, that's what he's good at. I mean, he's not really a three-point shooter. He'll take them. It doesn't look bad. He can knock them down. You saw the big one that he hit against K-State to send it to overtime. But his game is predicated on getting downhill, using his speed, using his athleticism, drawing contact at the rim. That is his game. Get downhill and attack.
Just made a pair of free throws that gave West Virginia their first lead of the night. And he stays perfect for the game, 4 for 4, and we are deadlocked at 50 with 10:38 left. Baylor's in some serious foul trouble. Adam Flagler just picked up his third foul. There are 5 Baylor Bears with 3 or more fouls.
Well, Adam Flagler has to know you have 3 fouls, you cannot get the 4th. You're way too valuable to be sitting on the bench. So he's going to have to let some things go, but Adam Flagler's a veteran, won a national championship. He's been in these moments before.
Domba's the Bear with 4. Flagler knifing through, throws it up. They'll count it, +1. Baylor back in front, and Flagler headed to the line for the and one.
This is a tough angle right now. You let Adam Flagler get the angle by you, and then Stevenson just get out the way. Get out the way. You've been dealing with foul trouble all day, but that's a very skilled layup to make, very skilled runner to make from Adam Flagler.
And the foul was called on Eric Stevenson. That is his 4th.
And if you're Stevenson, you just have to be better than that. Get out the way, allow Adam Flagler to shoot the runner. If he makes it, okay, cool, go back on the offensive side. But you just can't give up a tic-tac foul like that and let the man get an and one with the extra free throw. He has to be better than that.
And the chess match has begun between these coaching staffs in terms of playing time and who's out on the floor. The stars are shining, but they're almost all in foul trouble. Baylor by 2, lob over the top. Jimmy Belt Jr. missed at the rim. Bridges there to bother the shot. The former Mountaineer on the handle for Baylor. Bridges cutting, denied by Mitchell. Toussaint, an air ball. And it's out of bounds to the Bears. And now they'll keep it on this end with the Mountaineers. Toussaint's shot was partially blocked.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that shot right there in transition. You had Seth Wilson over there on the wing. You could have hit him. He was wide open. But to take a contested 3 right there, I know that you've hit a few, but I would have liked to see him swing one more to Seth Wilson for the better look.
53-51, Baylor on top. How do you manage the playing time down the stretch? So many guys in foul trouble. And a foul called here. An offensive foul on Trey Mitchell. Now that's only his 2nd. For West Virginia, Eric Stevenson has 4. Jimmy Bell Jr. has 3. He's barely played tonight. And 3 fouls for Kedrian Johnson.
So a lot of times, whenever you're a taller player and you're going against a smaller defender, the smaller defender is always going to get the benefit of the doubt. So as soon as you lower your chest and you have any bit of contact, the referee is automatically going to rule in favor of the smaller defender.
Keontae George gives it up. George has 23 to lead all scorers. 10 on the shot clock. Cryer, a 3. Rebound collected by West Virginia's Mitchell. His 12th rebound of the game. Drive and kick. Johnson pulls the trigger and he's fouled on a 3. Kedrian Johnson will shoot 3 free throws. Flagler just picked up his 4th. So 2 Baylor starters with 4 fouls. Adam Flagler, their star guard, and Flo Thamba.
And, you know, I'm being critical right now. But Adam Flagler is a veteran player. Eric Stevenson is a veteran player. Those two guys have to know that you cannot put yourself in a situation to where it even looks like a foul. So right there, did he foul him? I don't know. That was a tough angle. But you can't even get yourself in the vicinity to where the ref can think that you did foul him. You're too valuable. And now you pick up your fourth with 9 minutes to go. Same thing with Eric Stevenson. Pick up your fourth with 9 minutes to go. You're the two leading scorers on the team. You have to be out there. You cannot do that. They have to be better than that.
And Baylor head coach Scott Drew told us at shoot-around, we asked him about these close losses. They've lost back-to-back games by a combined 3 points. First thing he said, mental mistakes. It's a mental mistake.
That's on both sides. Bob Huggins said the same thing, but paraphrase it differently. We have to stay locked in for 40 minutes. Both teams struggle with mental lapses and mental mistakes.
West Virginia out in front, 54-53. Baylor led the first nearly 30 minutes. Since then, already 5 lead changes. George, baseline, in trouble. Blocked by Mitchell. His second block of the night. Wilson, trailing Wagee. Inside, he has it swatted away. And Cryer pulls it out of the pack for Baylor. NASCAR tempo. Bridges into a wall. Offensive foul. That's just the second on Jalen Bridges. It's West Virginia's basketball.
That's what I'm saying. They're ruthless. West Virginia fans, West Virginia student section is absolutely ruthless. They don't care what they say to you. I've been called all types of things in this building. West Virginia student section is ruthless. They have, them and Texas Tech have the best student section in the Big 12.
1 point lead for West Virginia. Baylor's back in their zone defense. Wilson, tough shot off balance, and he hits it anyway. You bet, Seth Wilson. Timeout, Baylor. The roof is coming off the Coliseum. West Virginia by 4.
Seth Wilson. This is just tough. The altar in the air. Did he mean to make it? I mean, yeah, but I don't think he intended to do that, but it's a bucket either way.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
I seriously hate bank fees, especially overdraft fees. I think they're the worst. That's why I love Chime. I don't get any monthly fees. One of my favorite features is Spot Me. I can overdraft up to $200 fee-free. With my business, one of the missions is to empower women. Banking with the Chime app empowers me to be in control of my money. I love Chime. Join me today and sign up at chime.com.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey, you're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
It's in. Hooking it up. Tatum step back three.
Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 basketball fans. Saturday at 4 Eastern, 3 Central. Number 2, Kansas hosts number 14, Iowa State at Allen Fieldhouse. And the early rounds of the Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament can be seen on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. It all starts March 8th at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. If you prefer to attend the event, tickets are on sale at big12sports.com/buy tickets. Speaking of Iowa State, both Iowa State and K-State moved 10 or more spots in the latest poll. First time 2 teams from the same league has jumped 10 or more spots since the 70s.
Wow. I mean, the league is just so tough. Like I said earlier, these 2 teams are at the bottom of the conference, and these are really, really good teams.
It's been a great one so far. Cryer, Bonner, shot clock into single digits. Dishes and a whistle, and he's held and fouled on the floor. And that is the 8th foul on West Virginia in this second half. 1-and-1 time for Baylor. Fouls on Kedrian Johnson. That's his 4th personal foul. There's a look at the standings.
And Texas Tech down there, they're really struggling. I mean, they're really young. You look at Pop Isaacs, you look at some of the freshmen that Mark Adams plays, they're extremely young. So they're going to have their bumps and their bruises this season.
Bonner converts the first to get the back end.
I think Baylor and West Virginia will recover, but Texas Tech might struggle a little bit this year.
West Virginia still ranked 20th in the net rankings. Baylor not far behind them at 30th. Bonner goes 1 for 2. The 80% foul shooter splits the pair. West Virginia has a 3-point lead. They've made 6 of their last 10 threes after they started 0 for 10. Mitchell, 15-footer, he connects. A dozen for the big for West Virginia. And another foul on this end of the floor.
That's just too easy for Trey Mitchell. One thing about him, he loves being comfortable, and he can turn around, face up, feel no pressure. That's an easy bucket right there, especially in the mid-range area.
Has a season-high 14 rebounds. Just picked up his 3rd foul, and this will put L.J. Cryer at the line, 90% for Baylor. Baylor's an outstanding free throw shooting team at 73%, second best in the league. Splashes it through to get the back end. Cryer up to 10 points now for the night. Our officiating crew, Roger Ayers, Terry Oglesby, and Brooks Wells, and I believe they're pointing out a fan who essentially will foul out with 7:46 to go.
I didn't even see what happened.
Cryer knocks them both through. Here's some pressure from Baylor. West Virginia with the turnover. That's only their 6th turnover of the night.
Yeah.
Their previous season low was 7.
But that play right there, I mean, that wasn't even close. I don't know who he was throwing the pass to. That's what Bob Huggins is referring to when he says we have to stay locked in. That's a mental lapse right there.
Who will have the mental fortitude down the stretch? George. Thamba. Out to Cryer. Cryer, his pass deflected. Bonner struggling with it. 4 to shoot. Cryer hoists it up, switches it in. Big time bucket from L.J. Cryer.
That's a huge shot right there off a broken play. L.J. Cryer with Adam Flagler's foul trouble. L.J. Cryer has to step up and be that guy alongside Keontae George.
It was a long 2, 1-point lead for the Mountaineers. Shot clock at 8. Wilson, step back pop. Way off the mark. Wagee with the offensive rebound for the Mountaineers. And a clock issue.
This is when LJ Cryer is at his best. I love it when he hunts his shot, because I think he's such a great shooter. I mean, last year, when he came off the bench, he shot over 50% from three, averaged 14 points per game, was the leading scorer on the team before he got hurt. He's that level of player, but he's shown flashes, but they need that consistently. We as fans need to see that consistently.
Foul called on the downhill drive from Mitchell. The foul's on Bonner. Double bonus time for West Virginia the rest of the way. That's the 10th foul on Baylor with 6:25 to play.
Yeah, that's a long way to go.
Yeah.
6 minutes is a very long way to go to be in the double bonus. So now you have to play defense without fouling, and every single time you put your hands on them, boom, that's 2 shots. That's hard to do.
Mitchell has missed his last 3 free throws. He started perfect, 6 for 6. He's 85% for the year. Ends the drought and puts his team up by 2. 13 points for Trey Mitchell. Both teams in major foul trouble. Flagler and Thamba with 4 fouls for Baylor. Kedrian Johnson and Eric Stevenson with 4 for the Mountaineers. Bonner slashing, dishing. Bridges, fouled at the rim. Wanted to dunk it, could barely get off the floor. He'll head to the line.
I think that's an area where Dale Bonner has gotten so much better and he's grown. Last year when you saw him play, he played at 1 pace. He was looking to speed the tempo up and get downhill and go 100 miles per hour. But right there, it takes his time, his facilitating, his vision. The game has slowed down for him. He had 6 assists last game, and right there, that's another example of his vision and creating and making plays for his teammates.
Bonner has 58 assists on the year, and Bridges able to connect for Baylor. 6 points in the return trip to Morgantown for Jalen Bridges, who started the last 2 seasons for the Mountaineers. 52 games for West Virginia, transferred to Baylor. He has 19 friends and family members here in attendance tonight. And Toussaint is held and fouled. Dale Bonner will put Toussaint at the line. That's the 3rd on Dale Bonner. On the other end, Trey Mitchell just picked up his 4th. Tied at 60, and both teams in some serious foul trouble. Any issue with how this game's being called?
Yeah, they're calling it a little tight. I think the foul on Stevenson when he got his 4th. I think the foul on Adam Flagler when he got his 4th. I feel like both of those fouls were tic-tac fouls. I don't think that they should have been called. So the game is being called a little tight, but as a basketball player, knowing this, that means you have to adjust to how you're playing. You can't be as aggressive with your hands, knowing that the refs are going to call it extremely tic-tac and extremely soft. So they have to be able to adjust.
West Virginia can't hit their free throws, still tied at 60. Missed them both. Baylor with a neat turnover, and now Bonner does drag that pivot foot. 9th Baylor miscue, make it their 10th tonight.
West Virginia does such a great job of getting into you and making you feel uncomfortable while dribbling the basketball. And Dale Bonner playing the 1 at the backup spot right now. We've seen a few times he's had a few mental lapses, a few turnovers because he was uncomfortable.
Toussaint crosses over on Cryer. Pierces the lane. Matthews Jr. Big steps. Mitchell. No. Didn't hit the rim. And Baylor able to corral it. Langston Love pull up 3. Way off the mark. Adam Flagler on the bench with 4 fouls. When do you bring him back in?
I'll probably try to go the rest of this media with him on the bench. Try to make it out alive. Get him back with about 3 minutes to go in the game. Let him finish it out. But for right now, the offense has to come from LJ Cryer if you're Baylor. He's the answer. It has to come from L.J. Cryer because the other guys on the team, they're not shot creators right now.
Emmett Matthews Jr. underneath, stripped, and a whistle. This will put Matthews at the stripe. He has not attempted a free throw tonight, and that's the 4th on Dale Bonner. It is a hackathon here in Morgantown.
Yeah, I mean, even right there in that scenario, knowing that how the refs are calling this game, I'd prefer you all up. Put your hands straight up in the air, and if Emmett Matthews finishes over you, he finishes over you. But you can't swipe down because the refs are just calling it a little too close, so you have to be careful and you can't swipe down.
Cash money at the line for Matthews Jr. He's 85% from the stripe. It's our 6th lead change, 61-60. Mountaineers as Langston Love heads to the bench with Bonner. Keontae George is back out on the floor with Flagler as well for Baylor.
This is the time with great players like Flagler. It's not the defense that you have to be conscious about. With the way teams in the Big 12 load up and take charges, you have to be able to come to a jump stop and not run anybody over because that's where you can pick up your 5th.
George takes it right at Bell and powers it down.
He's just such a gifted scorer. I mean, right there, the angle that he had, the contested layup, no backboard. He's a gifted scorer.
The future lottery pick has 25 on 17 shots. Answer from Mitchell, no. Matthews Jr. power dribble. His follow off the mark. Bell, no, underneath. And Baylor, 3 bites at the apple for West Virginia. They come up empty. Under 4 left. And a foul called on Toussaint. Fans want to tee. Scott Drew not happy from the Baylor bench. 3:47 left. We're knotted up at 62. Joe Toussaint just picked up his first. Baylor will be at the stripe when we come back to Morgantown, West Virginia.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
I got big dreams. I got big goals. One of those goals was to master my credit. And that's when I found Experian Boost on my Chime app. My FICO score went up immediately 14 points. And all it took was 3 bills that I was already paying on time. My phone bill, my light bill, even my cable bill. And it all works with my debit card. I feel closer to my goals, and every day I'm closer than what I was yesterday. See what I'm saying? At Chime.com.
Take a picture.
I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone?
Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile.
I don't know what to do!
Just head to T-Mobile this holiday and get gifts for the whole family. For a limited time, get 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 lines of unlimited for $25 a line.
Wow!
Wow is right, and T-Mobile has price lock guarantee. Unlike the other big guys, we guarantee we won't raise the price of your rate plan, ever.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Allen, end zone, touchdown.
Smashing the rim. Wilson hooking it up.
Tatum step back three.
Welcome back to Morgantown, West Virginia. Our score and our final media timeout, 62-all. He's King McClure. I'm James Westling. Welcome back inside the Coliseum. A ton of fouls in the second half, King. Ultimately, what will be the key down the stretch for these teams?
Well, James, I think the key is simple. With the way that the refs are calling this game, with the amount of fouls, both teams in a double bonus, drive it, get to the rim. That's what both coaches are saying right now in their huddle. No need to settle for jump shots when we can get 2 guaranteed free throws every single time down the court.
Could come down to who has the deeper bench just in terms of bodies. So Flagler's at the line for Baylor. He had an and one way back in the first half in the early minutes of this contest. Hit his free throw. Baylor by 1. West Virginia coach Bob Huggins looking on with Johnson, Mitchell, and Stevenson, all with 4 fouls. Flagler rattles it down. If you're West Virginia this possession, who do you go to?
I'm looking for the mismatch. Whoever Adam Flagler is guarding, I'm personally going to attack him. You know he can't foul. He doesn't want to end the game. And that's not a smart play right there. That's not a smart play. Knowing how the refs are calling the game, there's no need to be that aggressive.
Third foul on Jalen Bridges. Trey Mitchell, 7 for 10 tonight from the stripe. 13 points, 15 rebounds. A new season high for the former Texas Longhorn. Free throw spits out, no good. 20 free throws in this second half for the Mountaineers. Mitchell gets 1 for 2. 1-point game. 3:40 left in Morgantown.
This is the time. If you're Baylor, I mean, Keontae George has been going all game. Your best players have to be your best players.
Foul underneath. Called on West Virginia. If it's on Mitchell, he's out.
You know, I hate to be that guy, James, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Too many fouls have been called tonight. It's starting to get ridiculous. Too many fouls have been called tonight. The refs just not letting them play. You kill the game when you do things like this.
There have been 31 combined free throws taken in the second half.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You kill the game when you call this many fouls. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I didn't want to do it, but I have to. Too many fouls have been called in this second half.
Baylor by 1, Thamba at the line. And from an entertainment value,
yes,
fans don't want to watch free throws.
No fan wants to watch you shoot 1,000,000 free throws in a half.
Big one there from Flo Thamba, 52% from the line on the year.
Especially in a league that's so physical. When you have grown men playing, there's so much talent. And now one of the best players on the court, Trey Mitchell, is on the bench and won't even be able to finish it out.
How does that change things for West Virginia?
Well, right now, that just means Stevenson has to really get going. And don't be surprised that Toussaint comes back out here pretty soon because they need another scoring option, and he's been really good in the second half.
3 and change left. Stevenson, bullseye! West Virginia by 1. Flagler, rebuttal, he's fouled! Adam Flagler headed to the line to shoot. Count them, 3 free throws.
Stevenson has to get going. There's no other option right now. If you're the guy, you have to be the guy. And on the other end, Adam Flagler, that's a foul. Now that's a foul. He hit him on the elbow. You have to let the man follow through. Got hit on the elbow. That is a foul.
Foul was issued to Jimmy Bell Jr., his 4th. tied at 66 with 2:50 remaining. And Flagler gets 2 more. Preseason all Big 12 point guard, one of the top guards in the nation. It's his first miss tonight from the stripe. He's been bothered by foul trouble all second half. 4 Baylor Bears with 4 fouls. Thamba, Flagler, and Dale Bonner. Drills the third, and Baylor leads by 1. Our 8th lead change. All of them in the second half. Johnson probing. Stevenson comes back to get it. Long 3, NBA range, in and out. Offensive rebound. Wilson. Johnson out of bounds. Baylor basketball. A scrum for it, and the Bears will have it up 1.
See if we can see who the ball goes out on right here. It looked like it hit the knee of Kedrian Johnson. It looked like it hit the knee, and which is why the ball, the angle of the ball went that direction.
Keontae George has a game-high 25. Pull-up. Buckets. Big time from Keontae George.
You know, I was just about to say that's not a great look, but he made me be quiet real quick.
Has a new career high. Bridges into the open. Headed to the bucket, and he's fouled. Hard foul committed by Kedrian Johnson, and that's number 5 on the West Virginia point guard.
No, this shot right here by a freshman is just something you don't see. 2 minutes to go in the game. Game so tight. Doesn't faze him. Takes a contested 3 feet beyond the 3-point line. He's been impressive tonight.
His best game of the year?
Yeah, probably his best. I mean, the TCU game was impressive too, but tonight, the way he's been able to score with Flagler and Cryer not having their typical nights, yeah, probably his best game of the career, especially in this atmosphere on the road again and one of the toughest environments. Yeah, it might be his best game of the year.
Bridges knocks them both down to expand Baylor's lead to 6 under 2 minutes left. West Virginia needs a basket.
Hey, you don't necessarily need a 3, but you just have to get on the board. You can't keep having empty possessions.
Stevenson. Toussaint against George, and a blocking foul called on the freshman. Heady play by the senior, the veteran, Joe Toussaint, to go right at him. Use that muscular, broad-shouldered frame to get to the line. Just the second foul on Keontae George. Toussaint up to a dozen. 2 for 5 from the free throw line. .99 seconds left. He drills them both.
Yeah, Toussaint has played really well, especially in the second half. We talked about him being more aggressive on the offensive side, and tonight he's shown us nothing less than that.
Biggest possession of the night here for the West Virginia defense. West Virginia has made a season-high 23 free throws. Flagler. Short. George saves it to Bridges. Count the basket. It's a goaltend. Minute 16 left, and Baylor leads by 6. Timeout on the floor. Keontae George with 28 points to lead all scorers on 10 of 18 shooting. King, he's hit 5 threes tonight, 5 of 9 from downtown.
Man, a lot of these threes were just tough shots. I mean, this is high level scoring right here. This is why he will be in the top 15. He'll be a lottery pick next year just because he knows how to put the ball in the hole. So talented, so gifted.
Our officiating crew took a look at that last block. It came after the ball hit the glass, and so that's a goaltend. 6-point lead. West Virginia has to score here.
You have to go quick.
Minute 10 to go. Toussaint against Flagler, who's got those 4 fouls. Gives it up. Back to Toussaint in the corner. And he scores with ease. Under a minute left. Timeout Baylor. Suffocating defense on the inbound by West Virginia. King, your strategy down the stretch. 57.9 left. Baylor leads by 4.
Right now, if you're West Virginia, you don't have to foul. If you're Baylor, you just have to take the right shot. It's a 2-possession game, 57 seconds to go. If I'm West Virginia, I'm going for the steal. Go for the steal immediately. If you can't get the steal, you don't want too much time to come off the clock. So you don't have to foul immediately, but eventually you will probably have to foul. If you're Baylor, take care of the basketball. Take the right shot. Don't force anything. Don't turn the ball over is the key thing right now. We have to value the basketball and value the possession. That's what Baylor is telling. That's what Coach Scott Drew is telling the team right now.
There's no good player to foul if you're West Virginia. Baylor, one of the top free throw shooting teams in the nation, second in the Big 12 at 73%. Here's your game reset. Both teams over the limit. Double bonus time the rest of the way. 2 timeouts left for West Virginia, none for Baylor. So if they have trouble getting it in, they can't burn a timeout. Baylor led by 6 at the half. This game has featured 8 lead changes, all of them here in the final 20 minutes. It's been neck and neck the entire way. Baylor, largest lead 8-5 for West Virginia. And this young man, Keontae George, has been the star, 28 points. Cryer inbound George. Ahead to Bridges. Stevenson can't foul him. He's got 4. Blocking foul. And that'll be number 5 on Eric Stevenson, West Virginia's top scorer for the season.
Yeah, right now, right there in that scenario, yeah, you had to foul, but you would want somebody else to pick up the foul instead of Eric Stevenson. You want somebody else to sacrifice one of their fouls instead of your leading scorer having to risk getting his 5th.
Stevenson, 10 points tonight on just 9 shots. Had an assist, a couple of rebounds in 21 minutes for West Virginia. Keontae George, 83% free throw shooter at the stripe for Baylor. Got it. Able to sneak it over the front lip. George with a 30-burger. Career high coming in was 27. 48 seconds. Mountaineers have to hurry. Toussaint, turnaround. Swishes it in. Back to a 4-point spread with 44.5 remaining. Timeout on the floor.
That was good right there. Joe Toussaint went as quick as he could. Hurried it up, got a shot up, got a good shot up. And now it's a 2-possession ball game. Well, it's still a 2-possession ball game, but it makes it a little bit easier 4 instead of 6. So that's a great play right there. Great heads-up play to go as fast as you can and get a quick bucket to not take too much time off the court.
If Baylor can hang on for the win, up next they have Oklahoma State at home, and then they're at Texas Tech. Just based off the standings, every night is tough in the Big 12, but do you see an opportunity for Baylor to get some momentum?
Yeah, I mean, with Oklahoma State, they've had their ups and their downs. I think, yeah, Baylor can get the next 3 for sure. I think that they go in there and play the way they're supposed to play. They can beat Tech. Tech is really struggling. Oklahoma is hit or miss, depending on how Grant Sherfield is playing. Kansas and Arkansas, that's going to be a tough battle. That'll be extremely tough. But the next 3, I think they can get.
If you're just joining us, both teams have been slammed by foul trouble. West Virginia's Kedrian Johnson, Trey Mitchell, and Eric Stevenson have all fouled out, and Jimmy Bell Jr. has 4. Flagler deep in backcourt. Cryer gets it across. Thamba peels it back in a foul, and this will put Flo Thamba, that's who West Virginia wanted at the line, the 52% free throw shooter.
That's a smart play from Flo Thamba. I mean, he might have had the angle to go get a layup, but he pulled it out. And if you're West Virginia, that's the guy on the court right now that you want to foul.
34 seconds left. A 52% foul shooter. Trying to ice it. Baylor by 5. Thamba is 4 for 5 from the line tonight. Got them both. 2 big ones from the big man in Flo Thamba.
Have to go quick again.
Toussaint heads to the bucket. Scooper, and he's fouled. That one's going to be on George. That is his 3rd personal foul. Baylor coach Scott Drew told us at shoot-around that the close losses as of late, too many mental mistakes down the stretch. Effort's been good, execution has not. What do you think about Baylor's execution down the stretch in this one?
Yeah, the execution was get the ball to Keontae and let him create.
Yeah.
So that worked out great for you. He ended up hitting some really big shots, and I mean, you know, the heart of the freshman. He's young, but he plays so mature, has such a mature game.
Timeout with 29 seconds to go. Baylor leading by 5. West Virginia up next for the Mountaineers. They are at Oklahoma on Saturday. Then they've got TCU and Texas, a couple of top 20 teams coming here to Morgantown.
I think that Oklahoma game they can get. I think that Oklahoma, like I said, it really depends on how Grant Sherfield is playing. If he's good, Oklahoma's good. If he's down, they're kind of down. TCU and Texas, that adds 2 tough teams. But they're coming here, which is the good thing. They come to West Virginia. It's hard to win here in West Virginia.
Mountaineers 7-1 at home. Started 7-0 before they fell on Saturday against Kansas. And West Virginia, they feel like they've let 2 Big 12 games slip away. The K-State game in overtime, Oklahoma State in Stillwater. If Baylor holds on, West Virginia will be 4-18 in league the last 2 seasons. Last year and this year, 4 games in.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily be 2-1 right now. Just when you look at the way that the K-State game went and the way that the Oak State game went, I mean, they had both of those games. But it just comes down to mental lapses, being able to stay locked in for 40 minutes. So Coach Huggins has been emphasizing that, but stressing that in practice. And I think after this game will be another example, another perfect example of why you have to stay locked in for a whole 40 minutes.
Baylor with everybody out of bounds to start. And then on essentially a bunch of vertical patterns, they get it to Keontae George. It's like a Hail Mary. 28 seconds to go. This will put George at the line where he is perfect tonight, 5 for 5. Couple of free throws, and Baylor will be north of 80. Once again, they're second in the Big 12 in scoring offense at 81 a night. Keontae George, second among NCAA freshmen with 17 points per game. Trying to put this game on ice. Toussaint under a half-minute to go. Wilson pulls the trigger and knocks it in.
A three-point game.
Flagler held and fouled by Toussaint. One possession game with 18.9 left. Toussaint, that's only his second foul.
One thing about Seth Wilson, he's always looking to hunt threes. And his form is really good, picture perfect. Gets his elbow straight, tucks it in, good rotation. So it always looks good.
Wilson's hitting 40% from downtown this year. Was a prolific scorer in high school. Flagler. Yes. Baylor by 4 with 18.9 left. That one drips off. Here comes Toussaint. 4-point game. Toussaint floater is down. 2-point game. 12.2 to go.
Joe Toussaint has done a great job of controlling the tempo and controlling the pace for this West Virginia team, especially at the end.
Third foul on Toussaint. George back to the line.
Joe Toussaint called for the personal. His third.
Crazier things have happened here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineers don't lose here often. This team's trying to get their first Big 12 win of the year.
I like the timeout right here. You see this in football all the time. Try to ice the kicker a little bit. But right here, you're icing the shooter because he misses one. It's a three-point game. Miss one, make one is a three-point game, and give yourself a chance.
Joe Toussaint's up to 20 points tonight.
I mean, he's a veteran point guard. He's been in situations like this before, understands what to do, understands time and score and situation. Right there, knows to go quick, knows also that Baylor is not going to foul. So they're going to give something up to the rim because they don't want to give you too easy free throws. Very smart basketball player.
It's 20 points, a new career high. Now, if there's a miss, and it's a three-point game, let's play hypotheticals. If you're Baylor, do you consider fouling, or with the game as close as it is with so many guys in foul trouble and the way it's been called, are you scared to foul?
Yeah, me personally, I wouldn't foul. I mean, I see why you would. If he misses the first one and makes the second one, I would consider fouling.
Okay.
If he makes the first one and misses the second one, I'm playing it out.
Because off a rebound, they've got it on the run.
Because off a rebound, it's a little bit harder to really set that up and to be aware, okay, let's foul in the situation.
George. Baylor by 3.
Now, if he misses this one, I'm not fouling. I'm just going to play it out. The worst that can happen, as long as you don't foul the shooter, is the game goes into overtime.
New career high. Missed it. West Virginia with a chance to tie. Toussaint. Miss. 4 seconds. Flagler has it. And a quick foul with 2.7 will send Adam Flagler to the line. Toussaint was off balance. And Baylor trying to escape with a road win in their first Big 12 win of the year.
Yeah, you know, this off-balance three, I mean, there's 7 seconds on the shot clock when he shoots the ball. You could have got a better look. I think you could have got a better look. Maybe try to get a quick swing. 7 seconds is a lot of time on a basketball court. I think you could have got a better look for the tie.
Flagler makes it a 2-possession game with 2.7 to go. Baylor looking to move to 11-5 and pick up their first Big 12 win and their first true road win of the season. 5-point lead for the Bears. West Virginia falls to 0-4 in Big 12 play. Scott Drew has his first Big 12 win of the year. 83-78.